Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we start our 20th year on the air here at Intercom Radio. Shelby McCall is our show producer. If you didn't listen to last week's 19th anniversary show, go back to lroutdoors.com. Look up the show segments and listen to Shelby pulled that trumpet out, and she played House of the Rising Sun. I'm telling you, buddy, it was good, and she is quite a talent. Thank you, Shelby. And speaking of quite a talent, we got a young man on with us now. Ron Wong said, "You want to get Justin Lucas on next week's show?" And I said, "Well, I didn't know. I don't think I even had time to answer him." And and Ron reached out, and Justin has been very successful, coming off a big win that we want to talk to him about. That I think made a lot of it. Of course, I realize that Justin is also from Northern California, and Ron Wong is from the Delta of Northern California. So I think Ron has a little
But
favor.
Justin got smart and moved to Alabama.
Well, you got smart and moved to Memphis. So, I mean, what's the difference
right.
there, you know? But you're
Right.
but anyway, Justin Lucas, thank you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for you to do. Yeah, lives in Guntersville, Alabama, coming off a pretty nice paycheck back in middle of August when he beats out a person by 1 ounce to win the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Super Tournament on Lake Erie. And I know, Justin, not only the victory, and I know Bill Cooksy's listening in also as a co-host. Man, I've seen videos of that thing. It wasn't safe to be out there. I was just amazed at what you did, and as Ron talked about, you used some pretty that Berkeley Power Bait Max Scent flatworm. So let's talk about the victory itself and about the elements you dealt with and your strategy on that. And I think you didn't really know if you'd won or not till you got up there.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly didn't know if I had won or not. It was only a 1 ounce margin, but you know, we were fortunate to be able to get out there and fish that lake all 4 days. You know, normally if you have an event on the Great Lakes, you just can't do 4 days because the weather gets so bad.
Yes.
And it was bad that last day, but you know, there was only 10 guys on the water. Everybody was pretty smart. You know, nobody out there doing anything. Nobody out there doing anything crazy. And so, you know, it was, I was glad we were able to go and not be stuck in Sandusky Bay, I'll tell you that much.
And Ron, you talked
handling a boat in that kind of water. You know, bass boats are only 20, 21, 22 feet long, and you're battling waves that are 8 feet high, 10 feet high.
Woo.
How difficult is that?
After you took your Dramamine, how difficult was it? So
yeah, I mean, the biggest waves we probably saw that day were, you know, they were probably 5 or 6 feet.
Oh,
honestly.
only 5 or 6. Okay.
There were some pretty big swells in between, but you know, you just got to be smart. You just can't be going out there, you know, running as fast as you can through that stuff. You really got to take your time. For instance, it took me about an hour to go 17 miles my first starting.
Wow.
I read that.
Day.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I really did take my time. You know, and didn't try and get in a hurry. And, you know, you want your stuff to work when you get where you're going too. That's really important. So my stuff was all working great. And yeah, it was.
Justin,
nothing,
you know, you talk about
your stuff.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, talk about your stuff.
You know, I think about a year and a half, Berkeley came out with their Max Scent, and I think you're the one, in my opinion, that kind of put that on the map. I mean, so many people, pros, weekend fishermen, are now using that Max Scent bait. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a really, really good bait, obviously, for smallmouth. You know, they're number one, they are sight feeders, but number two, they are scent feeders, and that is a bait that they can smell, I believe, from a lot further away than most baits. And I think that is hands down the only true difference in that bait. All drop shot baits, as far as shape and size, you can't really make them that much different from each other. But when you're talking about, a bait that isn't that much different looking than everything else out there on the market, but it's absolutely killing everything else out there as far as, number of bites you're getting and all of that, it is, it's a big difference. It really is.
Did you not use
nothing else I'd rather use for smallmouth?
Did you not use the same pattern in your Major League Fishing Bass Pro event on sturgeon bait?
Well, I used the same gear, but they were on, the fish were on different types of stuff. Sturgeon bait was, it was definitely a different place than Lake Erie.
But you had good success. I mean, you did pretty good. Back to back in 2 weeks.
Wasn't bad either. I won that one. I caught all those fish on the drop shot too.
Yeah.
So
the
drop shot is very, very hard to beat when it comes to smallmouth, and then when you put a max scent flatworm on there, it just makes it that much better, to be honest with you.
And you had the right kind of boat too.
Yeah, I run a Phoenix boat. That boat is the bomb, man.
Yeah,
there's nothing better in my opinion.
Yeah, so you got $35,000 here with the FLW Phoenix bonus, they call it, to make it $160,000.
Correct.
And I think you said on stage, "Where's the hospital at?" Talk about your reaction and how you handle things, Justin, in those last moments, because, like I said, it's I know you and Wheeler are friends and everything like that. Everybody, pulls for each other on these things. But how was it on stage, not knowing if you had it or not, you didn't have it or not? Did you catch him? You thought he was a sandbagger. He may have more than what you thought. So talk about how it felt to be on that stage and know how close it was between winning $160,000, or as the top prize was $160,000, or $35,000 for second. I mean, that's a pretty good jump.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be really close. I mean, there's not much else to say, and I knew it was going to fall in my favor or not. And this several years ago, it didn't fall in my favor. There was a tournament I lost by 3 ounces, and it cost me $90,000. The difference, and this one was going to be $125,000 difference. So
yes,
that really was, probably one of the most important ounces that I've ever put on a scale, hands down.
What does this do for your career now, Justin?
I don't know. I mean, I've won a couple of tournaments in Angler of the Year, so I feel like I had solidified myself,
no
a
doubt
couple
about
years
it.
ago.
Yeah.
This really probably just, it shows that, hey, he could not win for a couple of years and come back and win an event. Maybe a guy you always got to watch out for. Hopefully, people, they know that I can catch those smallmouth now, and of course the money at this point, the money it's nice, but man, I do it for.
This is your living.
Competitive person. I do it for that, for the trophy and just the, just being on top that week. Those are the most important things.
Well, I said,
Justin, you say it's up and down.
Yeah.
You're now on the up part of it, because I guess a year and a half ago, it was not going real well for you, but you stayed the course.
Yes.
And just that going up and down, I think that's part of being a professional fisherman. But I think you're one of the only ones that have won a title in all 3 major circuits, and congratulations to you. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty cool. There's not, I think Wheeler and Aaron Martins and Greg Hackney and Iaconelli, they can all say that they've won, because they've won either a world championship, Major League Fishing World Championship or something, those guys have. And Wheeler, he's won everything anyway. So, it's a cool class of guys to be with, mentioned with. And there's not many people that have been able to do that. You're talking about 5 in the whole entire fishing industry. So that part is really cool.
Well, you've qualified for 3 consecutive Bassmaster Classic, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Is this the dream growing up in Northern California, Justin? Never thought you'd probably live at Lake Guntersville, things along that line. I'm assuming this is just part of where you wanted to be. At what age did you decide you wanted to be a professional fisherman?
Yeah, probably around 12 years old. Is when
12 years old.
To be a professional.
That's amazing.
I actually quit playing baseball and quit playing basketball. That's how much I wanted to focus on
Did you
fishing
really?
at that young
Yeah.
age.
All right.
Yeah.
So
it was just, it was something that I wanted to do early on. And, thankful that it all worked out. I moved to Guntersville, Alabama when I was 23. I just packed my stuff up and didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But I'm thankful it all worked out, and I'm stuck here now. I've got a little guy here,
yeah.
I'm married here, and all my family lives here. They all moved out from California, so
oh, really?
I got a real good problem on my hands being stuck here.
So what's next now? What's next?
I've actually got a little time off, and then I've got a Major League Fishing Cup in October.
That's what I
thought.
thought.
For the year.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. You need some time off, buddy. You've really excelled, and we appreciate you taking time to be with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Congratulations. The talent in there. And again, folks, that's Berkley Powerbait, Max Scent, Flatworm, and the Green Pumpkin, right, Justin?
You got it.
I got it, man. I love them colors. Ron knows that and everything. Have a great one. We hope to talk to you down the road. Win again. We'll talk to you again, okay?
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break, come back, and we're going to go from somebody that's real happy to somebody that's not real happy. Because we had a recent tragedy on Pickwick Lake that Bill and Ron and myself will talk about with hopefully Joe Campbell with the TWRA. He is a boating accident investigator. And we'll talk to him on Outdoors with Larry Ray.